This is a journey which illustrates how research on mobile money technology can lead to changes in policy and practice. It highlights people's experiences and realities in addressing poverty. My name is Dunge Kiti. I am a member of the Veena Waka women's group.
It is started by a few ladies coming together with common views about enhancing each other's standard of living.
Every month we come together as a group to socialize, to support one another, and also we give some money. And every month that money goes to one particular individual of the group.
And this would go a long way in helping that person to either put it in a business or maybe pay something like school fees.
We started saving that money every month. So you could take a loan out of our group resources and develop a business or do something that you needed to do for your family or for your community.
Since I started my business, it's more than 10 years now, but I've never gone to a bank to ask for a loan for the business. My business has been grown and brought to where it is, where I'm serving about 1,000 people every day. It has been financed by Veena Waka throughout.
In 2007, Veena Waka did a proposal to NEPAD. We got some money which we used to train 26 women groups.
We trained women in management, financial management. We trained them in human resource issues. We trained them in communication issues.
After we met Veena Waka is when we started thinking of greater things like investing in treasury bills. We started thinking of even diversifying our development initiatives. And to be sincere, that group, Veena Waka, they opened our eyes.
In 2010, we wrote a proposal. What we wanted to do was to look at how the mobile money services are affecting our women's groups. We wanted to find out if they're using mobile money services, how they're using them, and how they impact them as a group.
Before, I used to go to Western Union. I could stay there for more than 1 hour, and then they say the money is not there.
Our basic findings was as, yes, mobile money services are being used. The main one that's being used by all our groups is M-Pesa by Safaricom. M-Pesa is a mobile money service which facilitates various financial transactions through the mobile phone. It allows users to transfer, deposit, or withdraw money almost anywhere with the use of their mobile phone and a PIN number. We found out they use it for different reasons.
M-Pesa, it has improved the life of women. You withdraw the money from the account to the M-Pesa and then you send it to the destination where you want to send the money.
The chicken which was delivered here came all the way from Jambu. That person didn't come, but I will pay him through the M-Pesa. If he was to come for his money, it would be an extra expense. So it's a very convenient way of transacting money.
It's also alleviating poverty in our respective areas because people are able to send money to their homes for their parents, for their siblings, without even having to spend money on transport.
If somebody pays you some money, instead of going to keep the money in your house, you can actually still bank it in your mobile. People used to lose money when they're carrying it maybe in their handbags, but nowadays you can carry it in your mobile.
One of the groups we interviewed was a group of women who were visually impaired. They made a challenge to us that the issues that face people who are visually impaired is very different from the issues that face the sighted.
As a visually impaired person, we are using the same phones like every other person, which doesn't talk. So when it is not talking, you cannot operate the M-Pesa by yourself. You really have to ask someone to assist you.
When I want to withdraw or I want to send money, I can't access the menus because they are not speech enabled. I need to look for my neighbor to read for me.
So they challenged us to write another proposal and come and interview persons with visual impairment to better understand what are some of their experiences, what are some of the socio-cultural issues that they have to deal with, and some of the policies and practices they would suggest to service providers and government policymakers in terms of better making this service available for persons with visual impairment.
The visually impaired to access to M-Pesa is a total denial. They struggle. They have a very big problem in accessing to M-Pesa.
I've had times when I buy, for example, I want to buy 10 shillings, I find myself I bought 1,000 shillings.
Just checking how much airtime balance you have on your handset is a challenge, or costs you more than a normal call, which is very unfair.
People with visual impairment use the M-Pesa, but at times we get so many challenges. When you want to check your balance, because there is no right communication, you have to use the second person, and at times they might steal from our phones because we don't see.
We found that some of the persons with visual impairment have actually had people take their money out of their accounts because they have access to their PIN number.
We were sitting in my sitting room and we started just talking. They started ting, ting, ting sound. And the next thing he did was to transfer my money to their phone. I'm very suspicious of anybody who now gets hold of my phone. I don't like it.
Within our society, there's still a lot of stigma towards people with visual impairment.
Persons who are visually impaired have no problem in socializing with others. And this item is so important to them as much as it is important to sighted persons.
Currently, the research we're doing included a workshop. We invited service providers, we invited policymakers, we invited other members of the community to come and hear some of the basic research findings, but also to come and try to find some of the solutions to the challenges.
My recommendations are resources so that we may be able to create awareness.
All the mobile companies need to consider this, that as they are serving the other customers, they are also serving the people with visual impairment. And since their system is tailored to text, they can also do a voice, because we depend on speech just like they depend on sight.
It is a recommendation which I would make to the Safaricom. If they can improvise a phone, a cheaper one, with all those programs, I think we'll be more comfortable as people with visual impairment.
We would really wish that we get those phones which their M-Pesa would be talking, because that way I would be able now to operate my phone without involving a second party.
Hope the government and all the stakeholders will have policies which are friendly to persons with disabilities.
What we saw at the workshop was a conversation between these groups in order to come up with solutions to the problem. We also heard Safaricom commit itself to trying to produce a product that is more accessible, that is more available, that is more affordable for persons with visual impairment.
Safaricom actually is so much focused on inclusion. And when you talk about inclusion, it's both social inclusion, it also talks about digital inclusion.
We've interacted with the visually impaired, and through this we've developed some voice-driven modules that make it possible for a blind and VI to use a handset.
We are working on text-to-speech, which is an application that's going to be sitting on mobile phones. It's going to be free of charge for all our users. It's able to speak back to you as a user. It tells you where you are in the menu. It can read SMSs for you, and it can help you navigate around your phone.
Increasingly, we hope in the future we're going to see policy and practices change in terms of involving and engaging persons with visual impairment in the process of our economic development, especially using mobile money services.